Yoga for healing. What's up? What's up? What's up? Pulled out my little Path of Shadows handy dandy deck and look after I sat them down and shuffled them and prayed. And I look and I see psyops. You're being watched. I don't know if any of you have been seeing this word lately popping up because we're getting closer to some finales. And so, because of that, beware of the psyops. Small or big. And at the bottom, we have nymph. Nymph, known to be beautiful virgin maidens, poetic. But there was one that stood out to me. But she was considered in different categories, not just in a nymph, because of their lineage, the bloodline of Merope. A part of the Cancer star system, which is close to us right now. And it's going to be close to us a few times this year. The 7-star system in Cancer. Seven is significant. 777 can be lucky, or it can mean pay attention because something's about to go down. This is a nymph, Merope, that dimmed her light to live the life of a marriage with a human. She is still the dimmest star in this system. What do we need to know at this witching hour about what's going on with the judgment that has been called down on these karmics that still want to kick up dust? Overthinking wanted to come out. In reverse, work with government agency, any secret group or 3-letter alphabet, and that is a no. And I'm picking up if they broke oaths even with them. Damn. What else is it that we need to know? Holy Spirit divine, under this beautiful red divine blood moon in Virgo. Crystal ball, intuition, clairvoyance, and focus. That reminds me, one of the signs that I have when I'm going through transformations, rebirths, upgrades, decalcification of the brain, my nose gets runny because of that liquid that needs to come out and be drained. Because there's definitely more than just the pineal gland that has to decalcify. There's 2 other parts that are important. Medulla oblongata and another part, can't remember right now. Avoidance. Throwing rocks and hiding hands, and now they're scared. And they see that you're growing in your focus. You're growing in your growth. You just growth on top of growth. And you don't work for a 3-letter agency. You're not connected with them. Your source goes much more higher. Nothing against them, no shade. As long as you're doing your job appropriately, serving these citizens and this public, this misnomers that you call these human beings, having them conditioned to be a part of a group. You must be part of a group if you're anything. Yeah, they're learning that lesson, hopefully. You're avoiding all obstacles, all those that have taken those oaths and on the dark shadow side. You walk with them, but you don't walk with them. In reverse, you're not a fraud. You're not a want to be healer. You are a healer that even may possibly have nymph in your bloodline, because that card keeps coming up. You are a part of a star system, an old soul. Now, everyone is not a old soul. Some of you are new, baby souls. Everyone is not an emperor or a high priestess or a hierophant or an emperor, because there's certain lessons that go with those titles. You're not just giving them, okay? As much as you might want it, baby, go for it. But it is not handed. I dare you walk into a room full of scientists and you ain't never learned anything about science, and you go in there and try to hold a conversation and make them think you know what you're talking about, okay? Do you get my drift? What else do we need to know, Holy Spirit? They don't have connect to source in reverse. This energy that is not connected with any other association is definitely connected with source. They have faced all those boogeymen and prepared to meet any more if they were to come. But that has been stopped. Our ancestors, our protection, that white, golden light of protection, and that violet flame, that fire, the Holy Spirit. You ever heard the phrase, test your gangster? Well, if your gangster ain't been tested, it ain't you. Period. No offense. Just the fucking truth. Too many people are in their heads because they've been lying to themselves, telling them they're this and that. And when one of those real this or that's they come across, they learn the hard way. Because believe me, these warlocks are still on the search. They're still hunting. So go ahead and call them on over to your ass so they can test you. These boogeymen are no joke. As life unfolds and shadow overpowers light. Did you hear that? When the shadow overpowers light, will my innocence be left untouched? will you still have a loving heart? When you see the evil that is the true portrayal of those that were standing in front of you for their true identity, can you stand there in the light, holding that light in the dark, dragging these bitches out? And public service announcement, I've seen eyes like this in my hallway side window at the very top, like someone was looking down from the roof, looking at me. But at that time, I already knew if you ever run across a demon, you don't know if they're nice or whatever. The first reaction is not to be jumpy and scared. You look at it and you say, I love you. It went away. I have a photo of that also, because it sat there. And there's no tree over my roof. I went out the next morning. I'm looking like, what the hell was that? How could that? I have no idea, except for what I know. But fear, they feed off of. I had already known and learned about Loosh. That fear, that high anxiety, that thing that these dark, black, evil from the bottom of the pit, but black and dark does not always mean evil. I must always repeat that, because we come from the dark of the womb of our mothers, where we were created. And we must walk through the dark, through the fires, and still having that light burn. We see the catfish. Oh yeah, baby. I used to get a kick out of watching them squirm, but the story has gotten so fucking old. How many times can you say the same fucking story over and over again? Because you're not connected. So you can only repeat what you know. However the cards fall out. Things are mysterious, baby. This is a bad Hierophant we're talking about. And do you notice on this I have, if it fell this way, good Hierophant. If it falls this way, bad Hierophant. And it fell, bad Hierophant. Who's trying to avoid being seen as this catfish. You, on the other hand, are not a false reader. You have the focus, the wisdom. You are not a part of some group, and you have been avoiding this type of energy. Mummy. Necromancy. This is someone that is stuck in the past, in nostalgia, in the memories, caught in between worlds, in the void. Between the ancient past and the modern world, is there any place where I belong? They are lost. They're stuck, mummified, zombies. This is a catfish that want to be you. But you're not a fraud. What else do we need to know about this catfish and this scene behavior? Bad advice they took. But that's something you didn't do. It's falling sideways. Or no, actually, that would still be upright. Bad advice. We're going to see what that's all about in this catfish. And that is this bad Hierophant, a Satanist, who's not in isolation. They did not go within. They have not done shadow work. But they claim to be intuitive, wise, a guide, a healer, someone that's focused. When they're actually lost in the mystic swamp, in the dark with their secrets, not their true self, and unhealed. Excuse me. Give me that tickle in my throat chakra, but that ain't gonna stop me, bad Hierophant bitch. Male or female. Yeah, they wanted that dance of a romance, sabotaging the relationship. In a tangle of love, my demons emerge, and I wonder if yours will ask them to dance. Yeah, they wanted to dance that dance on demon time. Now they're nothing but a ghost. In the realm of shadows, where memories are hosts, the echoes of what is gone still haunts me the most. Mummified, stuck. Nothing left of themselves. Nothing. They've been completely wiped out. Voided. Because you know, honestly, if you look up black and you study and research that, the word black, first off, you're going to learn it is Negro in Spanish. So they took a Spanish word for the color black and used it. But there was some conquistadors in there, right? And black is actually white. It means white. So if you're white, you're actually void of anything. Any perspective, any color, no emotions, no chakra spinning, nothing, completely voided out. Because they wanted to have you dance with the devil, wanted to drag you down, this motherfucking Satanist that cannot isolate and hide from the truth of how they were given bad advice to be a catfish, a bad Hierophant, a fraud that delighted in the morbid acts of eating others, flesh, blood, and all, a vampire, a ghoul. In the shadows I dwell, feeding on what I can, not remembering when was the last time that life tasted well. They have to feed, and they even feed on dead. They feed on other dead, like them, cannibals. Do you see where this is going? Do you see where those fairy tales that they told you were myths and not true stories, that were actually horror stories, is true? And that these same motherfucking lineages, these bloodlines, the DNA, have all been spliced or being reincarnated for this boom shakalaka boom. Do you think it was only 144 angels, the good ones? Or, oh, we're just gonna see the light and, ooh, we're rising, kumbaya. And that's how it was gonna go? Well, in the Bible, don't it say it's gonna end with that fire? Fire. Oh, yeah. And I know how that's gonna go down, too. Detox. Remove those heavy metals from your bloodstream. behave on how you intake on this fake food and water. See, this is not a surface level thing. This is not a, we're going to fix this in a year thing. This is not a new thing. Energy never dies. It reincarnates. Oh yeah, that's why you're told to learn yourself, thyself. Once you start going within, decalcifying, opening up, being honest, then you'll start getting the info you need and you'll be guided. But until then, it's not going to fall on your motherfucking head while you still acting like a goddamn clown. That ain't how it works. You will be voided. And it has been said from the beginning, evolve or devolve. Free will. Run with it. It's up to each individual what they do. What they do. They don't call this a university, a school, for nothing. Universal. Why are you here? Why are you breathing? What are you? Where are you from? What do you know about you? And just so you know, all fairies are not nice either. I believe that one I saw in the window was one of those not so nice, like sloth type fairy from the Fae. But being one balanced in the dark and the light and having the DNA, they just let me know what's up. Just like my star family, my ancestors. You don't know about me. You don't know how you don't know how I roll, especially in the astros. What is this card doing in here? I don't see any more, but everything has a reason. And we're talking about this catfish, this Satanist, but this bad Hierophant. I'm not sure if they're all the same energy or different ones. But we're speaking on them and they're all in a failure. A lack of their achievements and no rewards. Even if they feel they're not caught, they're not seen, because they think they're still hidden in the shadows. You see, there's more than one person in this picture. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's a face here of a man. That's his back and his head, and then there's the woman by the window. They don't want the truth revealed of their failures, of them being catfish, of them being demonic and their true colors, because once people know and understand it and not in fear, it causes them to lose power. Because that fear, that loosh, that energy, that anxiety that you give them by allowing it to be residing in you is what they need. That's why they're always bombarding tits and ass. Buy this. Why the fuck does every so-called star, entertainer, rapper, singer gotta have a jewelry line, a perfume line, a clothing line, a panty line? Why they all doing the same motherfucking shit? Why ain't they not doing anything different? having their own creations. Why is that? Oh, I'm going to help this little kids group. I'm going to help them with some backpacks. And then you never see them hoes again until they're on the news when they're done being used. This is what we see, we know, and we're focused. And in the beginning of this read, Psyop was at the top of the deck. Nymph was at the bottom. Those virgin, beautiful maidens that are poetic, those that are not frauds, those assisting those that are not frauds. What do we need to know about this intuition? What is it that's so, oh yeah, yeah. Ooh, whoa, 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 yeah. Oh, yes. Y'all know I love it when you come just straight out with it. Ancestors, spirit guides. Yeah, this is what we know. This is what we know. This is what we know. That the police are coming for these sex addicts that use sexual whatever that's getting them caught up. All these haters about to go. All these haters about to go. It is locked in. Those that you have cut ties with, that think that they were going to come move on in, that they could just breadcrumb you and give you a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you be satisfied. And they would prevent you from making your progress, but you walked away. You're avoiding that energy. Yes, indeed, you are. You are not about a total drama. You're not about putting on a show. You're not acting, but you're taking action. You already know the tea because you're not a fraud. What else do we need to know about this not a fraud? Separation. They're sad. You're bitter. They're bittersweet. We are not bittersweet, but they are bittersweet. Missing whoever you are, thinking about you, uncertain of their future, and they don't know shit about yours. They are not a part of it. They are in a failure. Where they wanted you, they got caught in their own shit. They're trying to avoid it. Because remember, you're not a part of this organization, no group, anything like this. But they wanted a failure for you. And they didn't think that they were going to not get caught. But look what comes right after that. The police for this group of haters that uses sexual energy, harvesting. So if not those red, white, and blue lights, it's most definitely the spiritual guides, ancestors. For them wanting you to fail. They see your new beginning. They were expecting to be locked in. Now you're watching the show go down. You have a connection with Source. You're not getting a room, having casual secret sex or any kind. You're being abstinent. or celibate. Don't matter if it's one day, you got to start before it becomes 20 days, 2 years, however long. It's part of that purification that we all must go through. It's a process. It's initiation with yourself, your higher self, with your ancestors, with your guides. That's why you must connect. In the Matrix, didn't they all have their own little cord in the back of their head that they were connected to? In their own chair? Yeah, that part. And these catfish think that they can go and sit in your chair. They're not seeing what's about to go down. Because they're bad. They're not connected. You see this. They are not seeing what's going down. These endings. How a lot is about to be dead and over with. And that they must go through transformations, upheavals, towers. They must face that judgment. Sexual protection. What do we need to know about sexual protection? Toxic in reverse wanted to come out. And betrayal wanted to come out. Oh, they didn't think about it before they tried to come for someone that was guarding their sexual energy. Setting the record straight on that. They came for someone that was guarding their sexual energy. They knew that they were not just sleeping around. So that's going to be set straight. And the ancestors aren't playing. And neither are you. These energies are stuck because they took bad advice. The truth is being revealed. How they're sexually promiscuous. How they are the ones that are, I'll take your man energy Jezebel hoes. Wannabes. That need to check themselves and their addictions. This is somebody that wants to return to you. That think that you don't see them. Somebody that wanted to bind you sexually. Try to get you knocked up if they could. But you know what? The divine got ways for that also. If you didn't know. See, these sickness already know, but you know. They're hiding out. Because they knew they sabotaged, but they want to rebuild. They're being persistent. These demon walking that want to dance with you. What about this dance, Holy Spirit? They hate nothing about you. And, of course not. They're wiped out. Because you're not taking a fake apology. And you're aware that they are in bank failure spiritually and in the material realm. These are ghouls that feed even off the dead. They feed off their own children because they are addicted in all aspects. And don't think about, oh, they like to do lines. Oh, they like to do heroin. Oh, it's deeper than that. Y'all think those new drugs on the street are something? Well, think about the spiritual realm. These demons, things you haven't heard of, entities, those energies that have never even had a body that would love to trick you and jump in yours. All those things are real. All those things that they say, oh, these are fantasy, these are myths, these are fairy tales. Go and research them. Go down the rabbit hole and find out where'd this Brockama baby falling out of a tree come from? Why would we sing that? Why would Jack and Jill fall down the hill? Huh? Why did Little Red Riding Hood have to run into her grandmother that ends up to being a fucking wolf instead of a sheep? Huh? Think deeper. This is what they do not want you to do. They put shit in your face like that Jim Carrey and laugh at about it. I posted a post on that too. And it's both sides of the parties of the government laughing their asses off, and it's saying how they think that this side of the government is against this side of the government when they're both working together. There's no good side, bad side. There's a few sprinkled good ones inside, and then there's our ancestors that are going to be body jumping into some characters too to get shit done in a 3D, because it ain't enough good ones walking around doing the fucking work. And then get mad when you say a goddamn cuss word. Look the fucking words up. You say curses all day, every day. Don't you get up and say good morning? Why would you arise and mourn? Peace.